beautiful, this aeroplane. Flies so well. Okay, this is Mark Weeks from down south. I've been flying with Mark quite a lot recently, and I always admire the way he presents this aeroplane. Plenty of power, plenty of smoke, plenty of performance, and Mark does a very elegant display. So it's a Tomahawk Ventura, spooling up, and here we go. Mark Weeks. The interesting thing about this aeroplane, the nose wheel retracts forward. The only way he can make it retract against the force of air is to climb almost vertically, wait till the plane is almost stopped, and then operate the retracts. Otherwise, he's flying around with one wheel down for most of the flight.
One of the problems we also have in this weather out here is flying hats as well. The problem is, obviously when you're flying, you want to have a hat with a brim so that you don't get dazzled by the sun. But when it's too windy, often they just go flying off. It's just done again.
Yeah, well I can tell you, if somebody's lost a hat with spirit on the front, spirit of the game or something, it's over here in flight control, because it's clearly blown off from somebody's head and is thrown onto my table. So nice slow roll.
It's the advantage of having long hair, you see. You just thread your hair through and then it hangs on the back of you.
Sharon, I'm tempted to say no, I don't see. My hair isn't long. And I couldn't grow it long if I tried.
So apparently this jet does handle quite well in the wind, but they said some of the slower rolls might be just pushed off a little bit by it, a little bit offline. Seems to be doing quite well so far though.
Oh, Mark always does a lovely display.
So fast pass there.
I don't think we'd argue with that. And it's a big aeroplane. What ridiculous thing about this, if you look inside the fuselage, you would expect a big aeroplane to have a big engine, and the engine is virtually lost inside that fuselage, this tiny little thing.
And now we're going to go slow and low. Or low and slow. He's quite good at calling these manoeuvres, you know. He seems to be getting them all right. Coming in for a knife edge pass now. This is where the aircraft is on its side. When you're doing that, some of the controls are reversed as well, so basically you've got to think a little bit extra, because rudder control doesn't do what it does when it's the right way up, and it all gets very complicated.
From time to time, Sharon, in this show we have what is known in this area as heavy sea mist. We think we might have a bit of quite heavy sea mist coming in from our right. So some of the pilots are trying to get their aeroplanes in a place of safety just in case it does lash down, because electronics and heavy sea mist, as you get it in the southwest of the UK, doesn't exactly mix terribly well. So we will try to fly between showers and when they occur, but we'll also protect some of the aircraft from the worst of the weather.
But let's look a bit on the positive side of it, because this aircraft actually does show up really well against those grey clouds.
That's a little bit like my white hair showing it up against the dark clouds as well.
Blue sky is nicer, but you know, the grey clouds, you've got to look on the bright side.
Possibly.
Okay, coming in for a landing now.
So it goes alright. Right?
It's one of the truths about model flying. If you don't fly in the wind, you don't fly, generally speaking, because here in the UK we do get quite a bit of the rough weather. Nicely done, Mark. Beautiful.